Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Full disclaimer down below. Lots of love and many blessings your way. The Queen's Christmas message is loud and clear. She talks about the royal family's bumpy year. She admits this has not been like the best year for them. She talks about taking small steps in faith and in hope, and that can overcome long-held differences to bring harmony and understanding. Who do you think she's talking about? You guys, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, then what is everybody's picture minus yours worth? Because that was certainly the case during the Christmas message. Why are we sitting here looking at everybody but Harry and Meghan, honestly? I want to say thank you, Journalist Jay. I appreciate you so much. Allegedly, I was told when the Queen originally sat down and recorded the Christmas Day message for this year, she found herself in quite a dilemma. She even considered putting just Harry's picture up there, but she knew the questions, the backlash, would be just too much. The old saying, all or nothing, she went with nothing. Between Meghan and Harry, they have put the royal family in full-blown crisis mode. I've mentioned that in the past. Even more so if you can imagine than Prince Andrew and Epstein's debacle. Since Meghan joined the family, the royal family, their popularity has plummeted severely, even worse than when Diana was killed. Not to mention, she made sure to split the brothers up. Now, what was told to me is the 6-week hiatus, as they call it. We're all told it was Harry and Meghan's decision, and I have found out otherwise. The royal advisors suggested that they needed to be out of sight, and I was told to be on the lookout for some serious changes to the royal family at the beginning of 2020. Now let's talk about this Christmas card that was a little late. I feel so sorry for this child that's wrapped up in this drama. Here we go again, another black and white filter. What are they trying to hide? I haven't had a chance to run this through the program that I have that says whether or not, Photoshop was used. But I do have a sneaky feeling it certainly was. Harry wouldn't be so blurry if it wasn't. And his head's tiny compared to Meghan's. So give me a minute and I'll certainly check it out. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but in the last couple of hours, there's been some news articles online talking about how the royal family are literally begging Harry and Meghan, quit your break, come back home, spend Christmas with us. Now, let me ask you something. If that was truly the case, where are Harry, Meghan, and Archie's pictures in the Christmas Day speech? If someone meant so much to you, wouldn't you include them? Now, according to my journalist friend, he feels like it's due to their low blow that they received from the royal family not being involved in the Christmas speech as far as their pictures. Therefore, their PR company is going to flip everything around before people have a chance to soak up and realize, hey, their pictures weren't on the desk. It's just another one of their Jedi mind tricks. It's all psychological. All they're trying to do is change the picture that's already been painted in your mind. So we're going to say, hey, where's Meghan, Harry, and Archie? And of course, to combat that situation, they're going to put loads of these types of, articles out into the media. As if they're cared for, wanted, needed, begged to come back home. When in fact, the reality of it is, their picture was nowhere on that desk or in that room, which totally speaks volumes to me and everybody else that noticed it. Next thing we know, we're going to see all these, please come home, Harry and Meghan. That's just not the case. Don't fall for it. If all of those feel-good articles are the facts, then why in the world will Meghan and Harry not bring Archie around the family, causing just another rift on top of a rift? If the child belonged to Harry and Meghan does not want this child around the rest of the royal family who raised Harry, well, what in the world does that say anyway? That's about as insulting to the people that raised Harry as it can get. I personally, it's just my opinion, believe that Harry and Meghan are not together. I don't believe this Archie is theirs. I just don't. It would make no sense for them not to allow this child around, at least his family. It totally doesn't make sense. Therefore, I'm looking for the big changes in early 2020. Now, speaking of 2020, 3 days ago, an insider bookie in London leaked out major bets are being placed that Meghan will announce the arrival of a second child right at Beatrice's wedding. It was also shared with me that the royal family are trying to find a spot for Meghan and Harry, not in the United States or Canada. Australia was one of the places they had highly considered sending both Meghan and Harry. But I don't think it'll work out in their favor. A recent poll was taken, and the Australian people, 97% of them, said we don't want nothing to do with them. Do not bring them over here. And that's huge. That's a lot of damage that they've caused together. And I hold Harry just as much responsible as Meghan. Now, if you've been watching the pictures on the screen, there's been a method to my madness. Now, this is something I recently found out. We've heard a lot come out about Meghan and yachting, and I found some things a while back about jet set babes.
Allegedly!
Meghan was not called a yacht girl, and she wasn't called a jet set babe. She is what the rich people refer to as a paid traveling companion. I was told she was making pretty good money being traveling companions to these men. Now, if you'll notice, if you ever come across any of these marked pictures on her old Instagram, her whatever, they all say Istanbul for 48 hours, Mexico for 3 days, little short weekend-like trips. That's what she was known for, as it was told to me. And according to some old friends of hers, right around the time she hooked up with Harry, she was so used to dealing with these rich men, I guess, in their contractual agreement. I don't know how it works. I was contacted by a lady that ran in the same circle, the same traveling companion circle, and she told me that she and other ladies that, are traveling companions heard the same rumor, which was shortly after meeting Harry, Meghan actually approached him for money. And I told the lady, I'm not shocked or surprised. I'm just not. And the rumor there was Marcus Anderson and Meghan definitely were an item. And you guys, I personally never believed that. It literally took me talking to this woman to be convinced. And then being shown a few pictures that just topped it off for me. Such as this one where they arrived to a dinner date with friends as a couple. Or this picture where she says, I think I'm in love, and she tags Marcus Anderson. And of course now it makes sense looking back when she said he was the second most important guy in her life. And the lady went on to tell me wherever Marcus was, Meghan was right behind, and vice versa. And we all know nothing has changed. I was also told she started this traveling companion stuff when she was still with Trevor. The lady went on and told me that Meghan just couldn't get enough money. She was never financially stable enough. Even though she started making $450,000 a year on suits, she was always living well above her financial means. And no matter how much money she had, it was just never ever enough. I asked this woman her opinion of Archie, whether or not she felt like Meghan gave birth to this boy, and she flat told me, all I have to go on are the pictures, and she felt like the child was paying attention to somebody else in the background and looked very afraid in a lot of those scenes. She also admitted that Meghan is super selfish, hyper-focused all about her, and that she highly doubted Meghan would go through the body-changing experience of bearing a child. I guess I can't wait to see what happens next. I wish y'all a very Merry Christmas. I'll see you very soon and we'll talk super fast. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.